A bombshell revelation has come out that the National Archives has at least, get this, 82,000 Joe Biden emails written under 3 fake names over several years. That's right, 82,000. It, in fact, dwarfs the email scandal of Hillary Clinton. And this is just the latest bomb to drop right in the middle of Joe Biden's reelection campaign. Yet another hit for a guy who, according to Gallup, has dropped to a historic low of just 37% approval among the American people. At some point, you start to ask yourself, how long is he going to hang in the race? Seriously. The admission came Monday in a little-noticed status report on a FOIA request and a lawsuit against the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA. The suit was filed by the Southeastern Legal Foundation, and it has the capacity to derail the entire Biden administration as it spans several years, includes at least 3 different pseudonym emails, all used during Joe Biden's tenure as vice president. And many wonder if it could contain the smoking gun information on the ongoing investigation into the Biden family business, the family business that brought in, $24 million in return for no work at all that anyone can figure out anyway. Pretty remarkable. John Solomon and Just the News broke the story late yesterday and reminded readers that the lawsuit followed the revelations that Just the News broke about the secret emails a year ago involving Joe Biden. Now, here are the 3 known covert email addresses so far. RobinWare465 at Gmail, JRBWare at gmail.com, and Robert L. Peters at PCI.gov. I wonder what the lapdog media will do to justify ignoring this bombshell story this time around, don't you? The breaking story from Just the News also included this excerpt from the update. NARA has completed a search for potentially responsive documents and is currently processing those for documents for the purpose of producing non-exempt portions of any responsive records on a monthly rolling basis. Given the scope of the plaintiff's FOIA request, which seeks copies of all emails in 3 separate accounts over an 8-year period, the volume of potentially responsive records is necessarily large. In fact, I would say massive. And then the scope of the admission put this forth. NARA has identified approximately 82,000 pages of potentially responsive documents. 82,000 pages. And it's currently processing those documents and preparing any non-exempt responsive documents for production on a rolling basis. Wow. Now, we'll have to wait and see where this all goes, but the lawsuit has hit pay dirt, it appears. And now the real digging will begin. And I can certainly believe that the congressional investigations will be keen on learning all they can about what those emails contain, because I am. Meanwhile, the problems for the Biden administration are obviously piling up. How about the time-tested and totally rejected Bidenomics? How do you feel about it? How do young people feel about not being able to buy a house these days? And how about rent prices just soaring? Listen to this story.
So I got a letter from my apartment complex to Miss Rachel Peterson Connolly. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but basically, if Ty and I choose to renew our lease in August, it's gonna cost us $4,008 a month. We live in a 2-bed, 2-bath in South Denver. Just so you don't think I'm making it up, we would be paying almost as much as my parents do for a 7-bedroom, 11-acre house. Colorado, y'all are on some crack cocaine.
$4,008 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in South Denver. The young lady explains that her family has a 7-bedroom home on 11 acres, and their mortgage is about the same. How do you feel about that vote for good old Joe Biden now? Well, then there is the explosion of anti-Semitism that has the Biden administration and his snake bitten right now, because they're pinned by the likes of the Squad on one side, promoting Hamas, and Jewish members of Congress and the public on the other. Talk about a no-win situation. So what does the president think about all of the anti-Israel, pro-Hamas protests going on around the country? And that porous border that is letting all of those pro-Hamas people, as well as our institutions that are brainwashing our kids, to be pro-Palestine.